You are now at the round table with Lenny S, Maya the Brazilianaire, and Big Lite.
Okay, everybody, on with the show!
Take a seat and tune in.
Yo, this is Sway, world famous wake up show. You're watching Rock Me TV. Don't shrink that screen. Don't do it.
Good. Yeah, once again, we back. Hot to trot, Lenny.
Cuban finally played a hot beat.
Braveheart.
Right? Did he play this already?
No, I don't know.
You've been playing the same thing
Why
like
he
4
playing
times.
this?
Yo,
Yo.
I might have more instrumentals than you.
Hey, put
Nah,
on some
I don't think so.
Put on some thorough Brooklyn shit, because I got my Brooklyn niggas in the
You gotta hold
building.
off on the curses.
Big up to MD,
There's a youngin' over
Kill.
there.
What up, my niggas? What's
Okay.
poppin'?
All right, Sway's in the building. We had Irv Gotti tonight.
Irv Gotti, Keith Cling skills.
Right.
We get into every part of the
I
business
mean,
here.
runs ESPN
Sway's here all the way
magazine.
from.
Right. We're going to continue
From
our
where,
media
Compton?
kind of conversation with Sway, too.
Is Sway still in LA?
We're going to find out right now. Sway, what up? Come through, Sway.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Where the
Let's do
box
it.
at, man?
I know
Break
you-
through that wall.
Acting like you don't know us.
Yeah.
Big Light, what up?
What up, Sway?
What's up, Sway?
How y'all doing?
How you doing?
I'm good.
I
I'm
know you
good.
used
How
to
you
being
doing,
on
Maya?
you used to being on the other side of this.
Yo, I'm born and raised in Oakland, California. You
Right.
know, I live in Harlem now, so I go back and forth.
Why does everybody from outside of New York always move to Harlem or Brooklyn?
Comfortable.
Why is that?
Those are the cool places.
Well, if you grow up on the West Coast like I did in the hip hop era, those were like the Bronx, Harlem, and Brooklyn was like the Mecca to us for hip hop. So you really don't know any other places. You know Queens, you hear about Staten Island, but it was
wants to
easier.
live there.
Yeah, it was easier for me to move to Harlem. First and foremost, I had a family member who lived in Harlem. So when I first came to New York, I couldn't find a place to live.
Right.
So I lived on her futon
Oh, that was
until I was able to find a place in the building that she lived in. I ended up staying in.
Futon is a Japanese bed.
For those of you who don't know.
Just in case y'all thought it was a fruit or a vegetable.
Yeah, that's a Japanese bed. So and then I kind of like the swagger in Harlem. Harlem made me feel like I was in East Oakland.
Right. And you're from California.
Born and raised in Oakland.
Okay, and I read that you were like a break dancer. And, I mean, everybody knows that you're a rapper, but you growing up during that time in California, where maybe break dancing is like more has originated in the Bronx and New York. And how was it over there? Like, what was the hip hop scene in Cali at that
Definitely
time?
know they break dance.
What?
You know the thing about Cali is divided. Cali and Los Angeles and Northern California are two different places. So
Definitely.
I grew up in Northern California.
Right.
In Northern California, you had the Rocksteady crew, you had the New York City Breakers used to come to Northern California and perform.
Right.
So after you watch Wild Style and you watch Beat Street and you watch Style Wars, everything
Right.
you saw in these movies, we wanted to emulate. So
Right.
where most people, we had a place called Pier 39 in San Francisco where that's where you would go if you wanted to break and make money.
Right.
You know, you passed the hat around, and then that kind of died down. So we had to start making records.
So what brought you to New York?
Opportunity. At the time, me and Tech, we do a show, the world famous Wake Up Show, what I want to talk to you
Right.
guys about today.
Okay.
It's the longest running hip hop syndicated show right now in hip hop's history on commercial radio.
Congratulations.
Wow.
That's
So
dope.
How many years now?
since 1990.
That's
Wow,
a long
yeah.
time.
That's a long time. So at that time, through the 90s, we established ourselves by breaking a lot of artists who would come from other places. If you remember back in the 90s, hip-hop was kind of segregated. So if you wasn't from the East Coast, you wasn't getting East Coast love. You wasn't from the West Coast, vice versa. So what we did with that show is we tried to open the doors to everybody. So when Nas came to town, or Akinelli back then, the Fugees, or Double X Posse, or
Right.
Akinelli
Primo.
was nasty. That was
He
my
was-
boy from
yeah.
Queen. He was triple X.
Yeah, Triple X. And when they came to town, we gave them love, put them on the radio. A lot of artists got their break on that show.
How did you
Eminem.
get on the radio?
I won a rap contest.
Really?
Yeah, I won
You
a
gonna spit
rap
for us
battle.
before you leave,
Nah, I'm
right?
not gonna do that, Lenny style.
We ain't coming out every time before Sway.
Nah. I'm good where I'm at.
Where is Tech? Is Tech shy? Like, you like the Pharrell or the, like, right? Like, he's never out except for your radio show. But I'm saying, like, publicly or interviews and stuff.
Well, Tech is an old school, original b-boy hip hop purist.
Right.
So some of the things I had to choose to do to help expand what it is we do, he's not. That's not what he want to do. He likes to be. He's that guy in the b-boy stand, still in the corner, with the ice grill on his face and
Fat leases.
Straight Bronx River.
Exactly.
What
That's
else?
what Tech is.
What's up?
Right.
But we had to expand at some point. That's why I came to New York. At the time, I was managing a singer, and I had an artist by the name of Sly Boogie. And we had a deal over at J Records, and we had the singer over at Warner Brothers Records. So when MTV called 3 times, I told them no, but then it made sense because we were putting records out, and they moved me to New York, and so I've been here ever since. You know, I've been here for 8 years now.
Which is a long time.
It's a long time, Lite, and I met you when I first came.
That's right. I remember, man, you took some walks through the night in Harlem.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah,
it's good to
nigga.
see you doing it now.
I'm trying. Sweet.
You
So
on the
what-
other side of the mic.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
All them years I harassed you, me and Ron.
How about
Yeah.
for you? This must be kind of, you know, because you're always the one doing the interviewing. We see you. You have big commercial success on MTV, of course, as well as your radio shows. Do you feel? I never hear anything bad coming like, oh, I'm gonna fuck Sway up for this interview or some shit like that. You never hear that with you like you would with Wendy Williams or whatever, Angie or somebody. Is that because you're an
Miss
artist
Jones.
I think he respects the
and
art.
you understand what it's like?
I can't speak for those people. I actually like what everybody does, you know,
Right.
but the things people are doing now, we kind of did in the 90s. You know, I'm an adult, man. I'm grown. I got a child now. And
Right.
I didn't get into the business for all that. If you got an issue, I mean, there's nothing I won't ask you, you
Right.
know. But I didn't want to build my career on controversy. I wanted to build my career on respect and
Right.
integrity. And that's what Sway and Tech has always been with the Wake Up Show. We don't compromise ourselves, so I don't feel like I don't feel like I have to do that to make a great interview.
Right.
You know, and I think it's so many aspects to artists other than the controversy that we can all touch on. And if you're talented enough, you can make that entertaining. Most people, to me, I worked in radio since the early 90s, so when you're running to that and that's all you have, to me that's like a cop-out, because once those questions come and go, what else you gonna bring to the table? So how do you really, as a journalist or a broadcaster, how do you make what it is you do entertaining? I've had beefs, I had people say different things based on interviews I've done or
Right.
things they thought I should have did that I didn't do. But I don't deal with beefs like that in public. If I got a problem with somebody, we'll talk off air.
Right.
Talk off air. It's not something I want to utilize to advance who I am. So that's why.
Well, me personally, being interviewed by you on MTV, you always let us say what we wanted to say. So I can't say you ever tried to censor us. I mean,
No,
even
I
though
don't-
you know we didn't give a fuck anyway. but-
Yes, Light, you made that very clear a couple of times, you know. Like me and Light, we got a very interesting
Friendship.
Yeah, you know, we've had our ups and we've had our downs, you know, but it's never been any real hostility or hate.
Right.
It's just, you know, it's just two
Hunger.
men. Exactly.
Right.
You know, instinct to survive. And
Right.
we ate.
But you always
alpha
been my
males.
boy. You know, you've been on mixtapes. We always done things together. You know, I've always wanted you to make it. Never thought bad about you. I told Lenny, that's my boy. Sway, my
Right.
man.
No, I appreciate
From always
that,
be
Light.
my man.
You
Right.
always gonna be my dude. When we
Yeah.
see each other, it's always
Aw, isn't
we
it
damn near about to
cute?
hug and
God.
Nice.
Aight.
You guys are finished.
But
no.
yeah.
What's more rewarding, radio stuff or the MTV stuff?
You know, before I never really, I'll be honest with you, the MTV stuff was just a hustle. Initially was to be in a position, MTV used me, I wanted to use them.
Right.
You know, but once I saw the power, the influence that MTV brings, that's over 200 million households
Global.
All over the world.
all over the world, and it's even bigger now. So when I realized what position I was in, I never wanted to disrespect it or take it for granted. I would say the radio is more rewarding because that's my first love, but what I'm discovering with TV is now I'm able to sit down with Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton.
Which is hot.
And then I can sit down another day with 50 Cent, Big Light.
And people,
Right.
You know.
That's hot.
people anticipate your
Right.
interviews, man.
Right.
Honestly.
Yeah, well, I actually kind of pulled away from doing the interviews.
No, I know, but you know,
Are you still with MTV?
Still with MTV, I have a different role now. I'm in development, so I executive
Yeah,
produce
yeah.
shows. I do. They have what you call a 360 initiative, where we create programming that can exist on a mobile platform, on online, as well as on TV.
Right.
And I created a few series so far since I've been in the development role. I still do. We just did We're doing the 20th anniversary for Yo MTV Raps this Monday.
Okay.
We got this hottest MC.
I got some memories.
You got some
crashing
memories?
their set.
What's your? You
Lenny,
crashed
I
the set?
crashed the
We're gonna
set.
talk about those memories when we get
come
back.
back.
Okay? And we're gonna also talk about the 100K battle. As
Yeah, that's
well.
big. WakeUpShow.com.
All right.
That's
and
right. Don't
Sway's
shrink
still
that
in the
screen,
building.
baby. Round table.
Right.
You are now at the round table with Lenny S, Maya the Brazilianaire, and Big Lite.
Okay, everybody, on with the show.
Take a seat and tune in.